Stream has started. I hope anybody that just clicks this like comes in right now to like this discussion before we get like actually started.
Just us yelling about how onions are great and avocados are kind of gross.
I gotta do my unprofessional like sharing it while we're all talking thing.
Onions and avocados are both awesome.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like we'll go into stream has started. Oops, there we go. I feel like we're gonna have to do like Also, Skoll, if you don't mind adding that in your Discord too, just because I
yeah.
can't right now. But like, I feel like our discussion tonight is gonna be about broken Draenei, right? And the layers like onions. Like we'll talk about like Shrek and stuff once we get started. You know, this is a quality content.
Well, I think we should save the Shrek content for when we're talking about ogres for playable races.
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
That is fair. I'm like adjusting the music level right now. We'll have to put like. Can you imagine that episode though, Kai?
The ogres episode?
Yeah.
It's just give me an excuse to talk about the Machnathol again.
Hey, it's Antonio Jones in the chat. How you doing, man?
Hey.
Hey.
So we're gonna get started in like a minute or two. If the audio's too loud, like on the music, just let me know. Cause I have a bad habit of like turning things up too loud all the time or too low. Hey, it's Blue X Thunder too. Well, Blue. If it isn't you on my stream. Am I gonna finish Alien Isolation? Before you ask, I don't know. Probably soon. Confirmed on stream.
Alien Isolation.
Alien Isolation's good. If the music's too loud, because I'm bad at everything, let me know. And I'll fix it.
Why would you play Alien Isolation when you could be playing Halo Infinite?
This is fair. I dialed back the music a little bit. So we'll get started at like 8:02, 8:03, and this is gonna be a weird one because like we don't really have anything prepared tonight. It's kind of like I'll explain it. Screw it. Do you guys want to? Oh wait, doing good. Glad I could catch a stream. Music seems fine right now. Hey, thank you.
You know, I think I know the perfect person to explain what's going on with the podcast. Illidan would go, "You are not prepared."
That's fair. It is totally fair.
We are not at all.
Don't worry. It's gonna be a good rant tonight about something that nobody talks about. I'm gonna just actually I don't really need to do like a formal intro for doing this live like this. Like I mean I could do like the like regular like what's going on everybody, this is Box like that.
I think it's tradition. You gotta do it.
All right, I'll do it just for tradition's sake. Kai, you ready to go?
You know it.
Alrighty, I'm gonna just, guys, even though we're live right now, like, I don't even edit these live ones either. I'm just gonna do the countdown that we usually do. Okay, 3, 2, 1. What is going on, everybody? My name is Box, and welcome back to the Kun-Lai Campfire with Skoll Shorties and Jikai. Welcome back, my friends.
Yo.
Hello.
So, tonight, I just want to say this is a highly requested topic by Skoll, specifically, that we talk about the broken Draenei. And it totally wasn't me who has wanted to do this for ages, but just, like, never did because I was too lazy to. The broken Draenei are a race that, like, I'll say this on stream, I would probably consider playing over Pandaren as my main if they release them. I really like the broken Draenei. And I'm gonna go on a rant here for a second about, like, I love Legion when I talk about this. I love Legion, but I can't say I wasn't disappointed that we didn't get broken Draenei as the allied race over Lightforged Draenei, or like a combination of the two. And we were talking about this before the stream, guys, but I just want to say, and I will explain something after this too. We were talking about this before the stream, and like, isn't it a little weird that in 7.3, like, I just picture Hatun standing in Crocun or something, be like, oh yeah, we defeated the Legion, and then he sees like the portal closing to Argus, is like, no. after that whole thing with Velen. I think it would have made more sense to have the Broken like join the Alliance at this point, even with Hatun kind of, he made amends with Velen, I feel like, but it would have made sense for them to come back with us. And maybe that'll be revealed in 10.0. I could see Blizzard doing something like that if they do a revamp. Like, perhaps it happened off screen and we didn't see it. Like, maybe the Broken are helping to repair the Exodar in Azurmist Isle. We have so many good, like, Broken are in that same category as, like, Dark Rangers. Like, they've been fan requested. Like, we have Hatun, we have Akama, Nobundo. We have some awesome, notable Broken characters. And I do want to say, guys, before I throw this over to Skoll and Jikai, we will do like our Q&A at the end tonight if you guys have any lore questions you'd like us to tackle. Because I don't see Broken being as long as last week as a topic. But I did think that was weird at the end of Legion, that we didn't get that with them. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they would have made more sense and been more exciting than the Lightforged Draenei? And, like, what would a female Broken look like? That would be kind of interesting.
You want to start that one off, Skoll, or me?
I guess I can go. I don't see why not. Usually I let you go first, but, why not mix it up a little? Yeah, I always thought it was really weird at the end of Legion where, like, you ally with these Broken, you're helping them out, they're miserable on this planet that was their home, but it's still their home. They still want to fight for it. They still want to take it back, which could be the lore reason why they didn't come back with us. Maybe they're like, we're not leaving. Like, that would have been a great moment between the two that we missed out on, sadly. But I would have loved and preferred the Broken over the Lightforged Draenei, because the Lightforged Draenei are cool, don't get me wrong. I like them, but they're in the same vein of the Maghar, where they should have just been customization options. Like, there's not much of a difference between the Lightforged Draenei and the normal Draenei, both in aesthetics and, like, culture. So, I think that the Broken would have been way better to have as the new allied race in after Legion, or during Legion rather. I keep forgetting, didn't they add the allied races in Legion?
Yes.
At the very end?
Yeah.
Like, it was like the pre-patch thing for BFA sort of thing. Like, they were like, here you go. You guys can get these while you can. And I thought that was really cool. That was like allied races are without a doubt my favorite thing in BFA, and I hope that they get continued on after this. I know a lot of people be like confused while we're getting a second Draenei allied race, but at the same time, I'm over here advocating for Mok'Nathal. So, yeah, I would love to have the Broken, especially with like leaders like Nobundo, Akama, and who's the other guy?
Oh, Hatun, Chieftain Hatun.
Hatun.
And
I forget about Hatun.
I feel bad. He's just on Argus in the middle of Nether space. Like, what happened to him? Why is he there? So
I am insulted. I voted for ban in the ban versus Mansroy, and so far Mansroy is the only one that's getting votes.
Good.
He's getting rigged.
See, we weren't gonna directly mention him, but I figured I'd throw that poll out there while Skoll was doing his answer.
How dare you.
But so Skoll, I have a challenge for you. Just before we throw it to Kai, I have a question, like a follow-up on what you said. Do you think this is like kind of like a weird question? Do you think it was bad writing that they left Hatun behind after introducing him in 7.3?
Considering they gave so much focus on the fact that he was left behind in the first place, I'd say it was pretty bad. Because, like, you put so much focus on the fact that he was left behind by Velen, and that was his big character arc, and Velen blamed himself for it, and Velen was like, I'm gonna do things right, I'm not gonna... I don't remember if Velen said the words exactly, I'm gonna leave you behind again, but, like, you could tell, like, that was a big core focus of the Argus storytelling, and it's... I'll be honest with you, it's actually kind of refreshing and nice to talk about the storylines of Legion and, like, Argus, because it's been ages since we've been talking about this. It's kind of nice, actually, because I remember when we started the Kun-Lai Campfire, that was going to be the second episode originally, and I don't know what happened with that, but...
We did the Mok'Nathal instead.
Wasn't that our first episode?
No, that was episode 2. Our first one was about the Hoosian pandas.
Oh, maybe it was episode 3 that was going to be the Broken then, but... Yeah, I think it is kind of bad or mishandled writing to leave Hatun and the rest of the Broken behind, but at the same time, though, they could easily clarify it with just saying, like, Velen offered them a place on the ship and they said no. I think that would be the best way of handling it.
So I get the feeling that they actually are back with Velen. Like, it could have happened off screen, but like the writers easily could in patch 10.0 for whatever storyline the Draenei have incorporate Hatun and the Broken into their storyline. Like, that would be a good point too. They could say, yeah, they came back with us in the epilogue of the war with the Legion. They were on the Vindicar or something. It's not like it's like a huge thing that would need to be addressed. So that's just like a small thing. I do want to throw it to Kai. I apologize for kind of jumping in with that.
You have a lot to apologize for, Box. First,
I'm sorry,
Lori, then you became a Garrosh loyalist, and now you start off the stream saying you'd main a broken Draenei over Pandaren.
Broken or else.
I don't even know this guy anymore. I really don't.
I don't either.
Oh, no.
Who am I even speaking to? No, but for real, on the topic, I couldn't really think too much else to add on top of Skoll's points because he pretty much nailed almost all of my thoughts, like right on the dot. I do feel like Lightforge would have been better suited as customization options. Same thing with the Maghar. Broken do seem unique enough that they could have been their own allied race. But since that ship has sailed, it doesn't really do much to speculate on that now. I would say I would prefer them now as customization options for existing Draenei.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be
That would work.
A fair little middle ground. As for how that would happen or why, and maybe this could help with addressing Hatun and things like that. Maybe this is just me throwing out random ideas, but with the defeat of Argus, Titan, the world soul of Argus and everything like that. Maybe Hatun and the survivors, maybe they hitched a ride on the Bling Dakar and went to Outland. Maybe they reconnected with their brethren out there,
That'd be cool.
And they kind of have a joint effort and maybe trying to resurrect the land. Because shamanism is pretty central to the Broken Draenei and their lore. I figured that'd be kind of a cool angle they could go with. Maybe they're like harnessing all of their skills or something to try and mend the land out there, make a home there, because Argus is doomed, but Draenor has a chance.
Maybe. Draenor is falling apart in the same vein. One of the things I really hope that they address, because we're bringing this up with the Broken, what is the state of Argus? Is Argus falling apart? Is Argus dead because its world soul died? Or is the world soul even... that's something I hope they clarify too. Is Argus truly dead? Or is it somehow survived its encounter with us? I really want us to know about that sort of stuff.
I assume... Yeah, I assume it is unfortunately probably doomed with the death of the world soul. It just makes sense to me, and honestly, I think it would kind of add to the... I don't want to say suspense, but it adds to the weight of the world soul. The planet can't survive without its world soul. If something happens to Azeroth, we're all screwed, or we got to find another planet or something.
I've always wondered about that, because one thing I think that'd be really cool for one day is if we got to go to Sargeras's world where he was born from, and they would I would love if they confirm or deny if when a Titan is born, the planet goes, or when Titan is born, the planet's fine, but if the Titan ever dies, the planet goes. So I think that'd be really cool for them to explore that sort of storytelling.
So yeah. So off of what you were saying, Kai and Skoll, about the world soul, I don't know much about Zereth Mortis, because I'm not gonna lie to everyone, I have been unsubbed and I haven't been following Shadowlands as closely as you guys have with everything. But do you think there's a chance in Zereth Mortis we could find out the fate of Argus? Do you think that reality in our Shadowlands could connect to that world soul? After what happened to Argus the Unmaker, I wonder if there'll be any payoff for that. Because they did say this is the end of a big arc that's been kind of going on for a while. So It would be interesting.
I still hope one of the connections I thought would be really neat is because they said that the Shaylins kind of got broken sometime during Legion, and I've always theorized that it was Argus's death that caused that, because that's a Death Titan that just died. There has to be something to, you know, occur in the Shadowlands, because even when we fight Argus, we end up in the Shadowlands for a little tiny bit before we come back to life. So I think it'd be amazing if they did that connection of having Argus's death be the one that caused the Arbiter to go broken. I didn't even intend that.
I love all the puns on this stream tonight. This is good.
I didn't even intend that. That's great. I love that.
I just want to let you guys know that Skoll totally came up with the title of the stream tonight with the Broken Draenei have us unbroken. Really cool story, by the way, if you guys haven't read that. Unbroken. Definitely should check it out.
Oh, I don't know. The genius of this title cannot just solely be mine. It is clearly got boxes writing all over it. I can't take this credit. It's too brilliant.
So one thing I was kind of thinking about, and this might sound like I'm really stretching for the Broken here tonight as a topic. What do you guys think about Draenei leadership changing? If maybe we see more of like Hatun, Akama, because Velen, God, I don't know how old Velen is now, but he's probably pretty old in Draenei years, and like, I almost feel like his story is done. So it would be like I'm really disappointed that they killed off Marad and Wad, because like he would have been an awesome Draenei leader, and Yrel is like villain now, so. Yeah, and that's another thing with, like, the Light Forge and, like, the evil Light Forge. I feel like there is no better time to bring back the Broken Draenei. Especially because I think we're going to be having a storyline with, like, Terralion soon. So, like, it's definitely good timing-wise, but, like, how would you guys feel about a change in Draenei leadership after Shadowlands? Because, I think Velen had a good storyline. And I think he almost doesn't need more. Like, it felt kind of weird that, like, we had to even fight Draenei after Legion, even as Horde. Like, I didn't feel right seeing that Draenei Vindicator in that cutscene and having to fight him in the BFA cinematic. But what do you guys feel about that? Starting with Kai this time, putting him on the spot.
It's alright, I appreciate it. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think they definitely need something, and I don't just mean the Broken, I mean the Draenei in general, post-Legion. Now, a change of leadership, I mean, you could, for the sake of it, I think most people would be indifferent about that. But if it means they're going to expand on the lore of a different character, especially a potential, like, Broken Draenei leader, that could be pretty interesting, especially since I'm not so sure if it's the case now, but I'm pretty sure it is. But you know how the Broken Draenei are kind of outcasts,
right?
And like ostracized by their own people in a way. And I doubt it's quite as much as it used to be, but I'm sure it definitely exists now. As for how that would come about, I'm not too sure, if I'm being honest.
I know exactly how it could come about. You ready for this, Kai? Are you ready for this?
I gotta.
Oh. What's up?
No, I said I gotta hear it.
Oh, okay. So, with us getting into the whole light stuff, what if Vindicator Yrel is the one that kills Velen in our reality? And tries to convert our Draenei to Light Forge? And then somebody else has to, like, kind of step in and stuff, you know? Like, I think that would be a really cool arc for the Draenei. I'm not gonna lie. Like...
Oh, yeah, that would definitely, that's a tough call. Man. 'Cause I think a lot of people like the idea of having, quote, light bad guys, you know? But losing a prominent lore figure to Yrel, which a lot of folks might not feel completely okay with her. You know how her turn of character. Not to say it was out of character, but you know, for us, it probably felt a bit drastic.
I can't see her killing Velen.
Yeah.
Well, under the influence of like an evil Naru, it wouldn't really be like the Yrel. I feel like we know from like Wad, but like.
I mean, if they clearly showcase that the light is going to kill Velen or forcing Yrel to kill Velen, that would be interesting. But at the same time, though, they've also clarified that like one of the stories that one of the things that they do have plans for Velen, and they even said that like Velen's fate in the light has kind of shifted since Argus. Like he's kind of become a little bit more concerned. Right. I feel like I don't think killing him off is because like here's the thing with that is, and I don't want to like use this as like a be all end all thing, but the comic with Anduin has Velen present, and like Anduin's old, he's gruff, and like he talks about how we're gonna defeat the final big bad together, and Velen's there with him. And like I don't think it'd be a good idea to, I mean, on one hand it makes Velen like he can't die because of that comic, and so can Anduin, he can't die either. But I kind of like that like, you know, we have an end goal, like we know this is going to happen at some point. So I actually totally forgot about that comic, Skoll, until you brought that up. I have to think about the comic a lot because it's like, well,
I was like,
Anduin and Velen
no, when you said that.
Like, it's one of those biggest things that kind of makes it like, well, those are only two characters that we have confirmation maybe who will survive Warcraft, and like we don't see anyone else.
No, in that comic, because Anduin has like the white hair, and this isn't like to change the subject off the Draenei, but do you think that's like maybe not so far off in the future after like what he's going through right now in Shadowlands?
I swear the comic says many years later, but that took place during Legion, so maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go the route of aging Anduin up like they did with Khadgar. It would be interesting, but I have the feeling that it's supposed to take place like in a time skip, like 50 years from now or something. Which means like most of the casting characters, like, oh god, Thrall is like either ancient or dead.
No!
That is, and so is Rexar. Like, a lot of my fan favorites, that's one of the things that's like really concerning about time skips like that, is like, so many of our fan favorites are gonna die of old age because they're already in their like 40s and 50s.
Same with Bannerac, he's old too.
Yeah, Ban's gone. His kids are still around. Hell, his eldest son will be old. His eldest son will be Ban's age if we do a 50-year time skip.
Head to the pools of youth.
So
yeah, go to the pools of youth in Pandaria. He'll be fine.
Yeah, just hang out. It'll be all right.
He's gonna eat up Box's youth. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, that sounds wrong.
No. So changing that subject, back on like the Yrel theory. I'm gonna change my theory here for a minute. That was like a weird like comic book guy voice. I apologize for that. So what if instead of Yrel killing Velen, she severely injures him because a Naru kind of commands her to? And like I could see the cinematic where she's like, because she knows like the Velen from her reality, and maybe she could be like, you never had the foresight to lead our people, and like, and what she's talking about is like kind of the stuff the evil Narus put in her head. If that's some direction we go, like that, this could totally be debunked. Like Skoll already debunked my first theory in like 2 seconds. But I mean,
someone in the comments had something really interesting here to say, and they were like, well, I thought that the comic is what the light wants to happen because the void sees everything that could happen. At least that's what I got from BFA.
Oh.
It's definitely a possible reality. But I got from the gist of it, the comic wasn't like... I don't know if the comic was supposed to be Velen's vision, or if it was outright just clarifying this is what's going to be the future. I like that idea, personally. I know some people don't, but I like it being, like, solidified that this is going to happen someday. I don't know if that's what everyone else feels about it, but I like having just, like... You know, a feeling of like, okay, well, this is gonna happen. On that page, though, I just realized, though, If Thrall's gone, that means his children are around, though. Which means they'll be his age by that time. So it'll be kind of like a reverse... I don't know. I know that this is a broken topic, and we're rambling on things we really shouldn't have in this thing. But I do think that having, you know, I like having characters who are the children of known characters who finally taking up their own roles. Like, you know, you've got Moira's son, you've got Thrall's son and daughter. So I hope they do something with them in the future. That'd be cool.
We had Garrosh. Sorry, I just had to say the Garrosh word for the podcast.
Garrosh Jr.'s out there somewhere. I'm still betting on that. That'd be cool.
I really hope, like... Oh, okay, no, I'm not going to go on this rant because I do it every episode about Garrosh and Zayla having a kid. That's... Okay, I can't do that this week. I gotta stop
You can't do it this week. I'm not letting...
We'll see if he can resist.
Alright, so what if alternate Garrosh had a kid with main universe Zayla, creating another alternate timeline where Gul'dan travels to our universe again, where an alternate Legion comes through, and then alternate Zoval pops out of the alternate Shadowlands. I think that, and then Broken Draenei join as an allied race because of that. I think that's a good theory right there.
You're hurting my brain.
You need to be a writer. You need to be one of the main writers, man.
Oh my god.
I think alternate Zoval, that's a villain I want. That's a villain I really want.
Alternate Zoval is just Zoval with a mustache.
Oh no! But he actually has, like from Zelrus's Machinima, like he actually gets like the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos.
And he's got like long, luscious, flowing hair. He's not bald. He's like a successful Zoval.
Oh my god.
And he like teams up with OG Zoval. Like he like travels in the past before Zoval is defeated.
What is even happening here?
Can he still have the assistant that goes, Zoval? That's actually not a character, but it's a log story. But I think I guess back to Broken Draenei. So we talked about why we want Broken Draenei. We talked about some circumstances where we could get them, because the whole Yrel thing was basically like, for those just joining us now, we were talking about like why would that be happening, and why would there be a change in Draenei leadership? Because like it would be pretty interesting, at least, to have like a younger Draenei in charge. Like I think I was talking about earlier, but like a character like Murad would be awesome. I think Hatun, that would be kind of cool if he comes back.
Having a Broken as the leader of the Draenei would be very interesting and cool, because you'd have a different dynamic. Exactly.
And like it's just very cool now that we have like Lightforge, Broken, or hopefully Broken.
Personally, I'm one of my fan favorite characters. Even though I'm a big Illidan fan, I would love to see Akama step up in the role, because he's still around, he's still alive, he's still active, and we've got a connection with him. Like Hatun, I don't really remember the guy too much. Nabundo's cool, but he's busy in being the leader of the Earthen Ring, I guess. So
I really like Nabundo, actually.
Nabundo's cool. I like Nabundo, but I like Akama more. Akama's just, he's got this grit to him, and he's got like this... It would be like a change of pace, because Velen's all about peace, and he's very open to working with the Horde and the Alliance and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Akama wouldn't be, and I like that change of behavior, because you'd have to have, you know, either a retired Velen or a dead Velen, either or, but like, it'd be interesting to see Akama interact with the other characters, because I do think that the Alliance needs, not more aggressive characters, but I do like having them, like, you know, act different from each other. Like, I like how the Horde leaders all feel different. They don't feel like they all have the same mindset. I know some people think they do, but they don't.
Yeah. I'd agree. It's kind of samey. I do think Velen's story's kind of played out. Akama could be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I think on that note too, because last week we certainly talked about this, but like, the Alliance, they need more. Like, I love that actually the story is going this route. Like, I think when they put Tyrallion on like Anduin's throne, I was so excited about it, because like, that's just like, especially after Shadows Rising too, with like Illyria and Turalyon when they were interrogating that guy. They're very like, I think they're what we're talking about in like more aggressive characters. So seeing somebody like a Kama interact with them would be really cool, in my opinion. Like you guys are saying. So I'm trying to think of other things to talk about related to the Draenei. I think maybe just like story direction, because Kai brought this up earlier. It would be cool to see them included in the story more. I think their break after Legion was certainly deserved, because we got a lot of Draenei lore from WoD and Legion. But they're kind of in like this weird place right now where like, I don't want to say sort of the Pandaren are, but like fitting them in to certain storylines seems like a little tough until we get to that Light expansion where we'll probably get a lot of Lightforge stuff. But
I mean, there's gotta be some form of like conflict with, like, you have Turalyon as the leader of the Lightforge, and he's a human. But you also got Faria, who's like the other leader of the Lightforge, who's, you know, you can't really remember him too much, or her too much. Bleh. But
I literally forgot that was a character.
I forgot about her too. There's a lot of Lightforge Draenei characters, but they're very dismissed and very forgettable. But I would love to see the God, what was I saying? I would love to see the Draenei take a role again. I think that they can be beyond the Legion storyline. I mean, I think that there's going to always be demons out there, and that is something I hope that they that surfaces again at some point. Like, you know, you could have Jaraxxus show back up, and he's the new leader of the Burning Legion, the Remnants or something, or the Rested Legion in Hearthstone. But I think that the Draenei definitely have a role to play in the Light storyline, which is good because I think they need it. I think the Draenei really needed a break after Legion, but we got a little bit of it in BFA, and then Shadowlands, of course, nothing, but that's okay. They're not really focusing on the races of WoW in Shadowlands. So whatever the next expansion is, I hope that's either Light focused or faction focused or dragon focused. Give me my Dragon Isles.
Something you said about Shadowlands, Skoll. It would have been awesome to see Maraud.
It would have, yeah. Maraud's cool.
It would have been.
It's not too late, technically, but yeah.
Ooh,
I mean, he is. Yeah, he's in a robot suit now, I think, right? He's hanging out in Auchindoun on alternate Draenor.
Yeah, because there's that quest with Yrel. I remember in like 6.2, was it? It was so long ago I did that. I remember the war campaign. I
vaguely remember the war campaign.
I do like the quest where Grom just yells at us and then runs behind the gate and on at the end of it. But that cutscene, actually, I will say one of my favorite parts of the war campaign, this is a random thing, is the cutscene with Gul'dan trying to get them to drink Mountain Dew.
Yummy.
That's good.
Good old Mountain Dew.
I know that was totally random. Oops, sorry, Kai.
No, I was just gonna say I just want to see more Outland inclusion.
That would be cool.
I do really miss Outland. Like, I think, like, on the topic of Broken, like the thing I'd be most excited for is the possibility of some Outland relevance.
I feel like
it's a great.
I feel like if one of my favorite things that was the discussions in BFA, and like we talked about it previously, but the idea of the Mok'Nathal and the Broken joining both the Horde and the Alliance at the same time, and like you'd have your whole scenario take place on Outlands, and like they got to get out of Outlands. I think that Outlands is like a doomed planet, and it's like only a matter of time before the planet kind of just tears itself apart. That's what Chris Metzen said. It's like basically slowly breaking apart in the Twisting Nether. Like it's gonna take a while, but it is going to happen at some point. So it is a ticking time bomb, basically. Look at that. Bannerack won.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ban barely beat Mansorai. I've been talking over myself so much tonight with stuff.
We got 11 votes. That was like all the people watching the stream. So
that was close. That was a close poll. I feel like Mansorai canonically beat Bannerack though in that one Machinima where he knocks him out. secretly?
Secretly,
Um,
I think that if Ban had all 5 of his beasts, he could beat Mansroy.
yeah, no, that's I feel like that's like a big plot hole, and like this is a totally random off-topic thing, but like in the Ban and Box Machinima stuff, like I feel like Banarak's like, I don't need these beasts, so they always get into trouble.
I think that it's mostly just he doesn't want them getting hurt, so he's like, oh, you know, I'll just have Skoll and Hadi. And like Skoll and Hadi took out Hala, so you know, it's kind of like split. It's a good split, you know.
I loved that episode.
That was a good episode. I'm excited for our Machinima series. We're getting off topic again.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast on Machinima another day. That was my fault. But I just want to say, do you guys have so in terms of Draenei, I think we've covered about everything. Do you guys have anything else you'd want to say about the Broken, other than basically we just really want to see them playable?
I would love to have the customization options for them. I think it'd be really cool because I know that a lot of the Draenei community wants Eridar, but that doesn't make much sense to me for them to ever do them because Eridar are like the epitome of evil. But I think Broken Draenei would be a good like middle ground because like they have like the fell skin tones that the Eridar have. So like if you're like a role player, you could use the Broken customizations to make yourself look like an Eridar if you wanted to roleplay as an Eridar or something. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think with the Eridar, they point to the exception of the fellow there in the Dalaran sewers that helps you out and stuff. I don't remember much about him, but what's that?
Well, there's like a few good Eridar out there, but like it's, you know, they're few and far between, and they're usually after something. Like they have a malicious goal that they're after that we're not aware of because they're demons. It's just how demons operate.
Yeah.
But I think would be really cool is kind of like how in the Night Warrior eyes that you can get from doing the quests from Darkshore for Night Elves, you could unlock the Broken customization by doing like quests in like revamped Outlands or something or other. You know, that'd be cool. I think that'd be really neat because I love when they give customization as a reward and it's tied to the lore. It's current.
Absolutely. I thought that was one of the coolest things about the Night Warrior customization options with the Night Elves. It felt earned.
Yeah, we BF. I know people don't note this, but BFA was actually one of the expansions where customization was slowly being tweaked in slowly because Orcs got the Hunchback option, and then the eyes that we just talked about with the Night Elves. I think they also gave the Blood Elves the Sunwell eyes in BFA too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's a good point about maybe like, because like realistically, I don't think like I partially feel bad for players that like wanted to play a Magar Orc as their main, but had to spend like, what is it, like $15 to race change from like regular Orc to that. So I feel like in the future, like Skoll was saying, like that's probably the best way to address some of those like potential allied races that aren't too different. Like just give Broken customization to Draenei, and I think that would work fine. The Lightforge could have very well worked the same way too.
Walter brought up a question here. He said, so did we just leave the Crow Cool on Argus to die? Like, was everyone just okay with that? And that was one of the very first things I thought of too whenever the topic of the Broken came up. I was like, what on earth's even happening? Like, is there any chance for Argus? Are they just going to try to eke out a living there and maybe try to survive, or actually try to even save the planet? Or is there not any hope for it? So,
like, I think Argus is kind of in a better spot than Outlands, but it does depend on the fact of, okay, if a world soul dies, does that mean the planet's screwed, or is it just fine? It's just not gonna have a world soul in it anymore, because I think that would be nice, like just being like, you know.
My guess is it doesn't. I mean, Draenor didn't even have a world soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I assume, like, you know, the planets and world souls are not exactly like their fates are not intertwined.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But Argus was not in a good spot either. Like part of its planet was missing. It's all fell corrupted. It's Parts of the planet are kind of okay, like Arideth, which used to be not Mardoom, Makari, which
Right.
it's no longer known as that because of obvious reasons. Screw the guy that was naming everything after himself and was a bad person. But that place is looking pretty nice. So maybe there's hope for the planet. Maybe there's I don't.
Is the name Arideth now?
Yeah, it's Arideth now.
I think it honestly sounds a heck of a lot better.
Same. I
don't know why. I think they named it that because there was an NPC who was called like something of Makari, which was just a nod to the developer, which again turned out to be a bad person. But yeah, I'm guessing that they were just like, let's just include it for continuity's sake, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, I'm glad they changed it to Arideth. Arideth sounds way cooler and way better.
It does.
So guys, for another question we got related to the Broken from Antonio Jones, can the Broken become light forged? I feel like no, because the light forsook them. Would that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I think. I feel like if you're that fell corrupted at that point, I don't think the light can really reach you. Maybe it can, but I don't think that you're gonna. I think that might kill you actually, if you tried that.
I think it makes them distinct in a way, especially from other Draenei, in the fact that they can't really be touched by or use or wield the light in any way, shape, or form. I would say trying to light forge one's probably just gonna kill them or put them through horrible agony.
It's almost like putting a Forsaken and trying to make them a light forge. I think that would kill them.
So I feel like that could be an interesting plot point in 10.0 if we do get Broken as like customization and they get reintroduced into the storyline, like especially with the light forge becoming more prevalent. Like even if it's just like a single quest or something where a light forge tries to convert a Broken or something, might be silly, but it could be interesting for like just a quest.
In that same vein, I really hope that, because like what I like about Warcraft, and they typically do this, I don't know if they're going to, but I like that both the Horde and the Alliance are a big part of the storyline. I'd love to see like what the Horde is doing and like how the orcs that are fell corrupted respond, because are they capable of getting twisted by the light, or is it because of the blood of Menroth that is still in their veins? With that, well, it's not in their veins anymore, but like it tainted them for a little bit and they're green skinned now. I'm wondering if like they can't be converted, or if they are converted, like they have a chance to like fight it, because that'd be kind of cool to see.
That would be super interesting.
I want to make an orc now. Dang it!
Yay! I did my job.
Oh no!
I've been wanting one for a while. I gotta save my alcoholism, but I'm changing the topic. Sorry.
I have an alcoholic problem too.
So
yeah, it's rough.
If, everybody in the chat, if you guys have any lore questions, feel free to type away, because I think for the most part we're pretty good on the Draenei discussion, so we're kind of just open to anything right now.
Yep, they definitely changed it, Evo, to it's weird. I'm so used to talking to Evo on Discord that's weird talking to him on chat and he's like dead silent. But yeah, they changed it to Arideth in 9.1.5 because of the allegation stuff, and they changed a lot of things. Some people, were like, how dare they change these things? These things should remain the same, but I don't know who is fighting for Makari. It sounds like freaking macaroni.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like macaroni.
It doesn't even sound like a Draenei thing. It just sounds like, I don't know. I think Arideth, it just sounds so much cooler, especially when like people were pointing out that they put like Eridar and Shattrath together, and that makes Arideth. That's really cool.
Hey, it's Toro, Chi and friends.
The Celestials are awesome. The August Celestials.
I think I would have loved to have seen Yu'lon in Ardenweald, because like she had that whole thing about rebirth in Pandaria, and she never rebirthed herself.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things with the August Celestials. Like, at the end of War Crimes, they said Garrosh could change, and we saw how that went.
I mean, they're just nice. They're like the Canadians of the Loa, or the Wild Gods. They're really nice. They're willing to. I bet they'd give Lei Shen a second chance. You know?
Oh gosh, Lei Shen.
Yeah, I think.
Lei Shen, and I am sorry for all the things I did. Little bits, not really.
Lol, it's K, and then it's cool.
they're just like, you're fine. Go ahead.
It's cool.
I will now become the true Emperor of Pandaria by being nice.
He's just chilling in the Veil of Eternal Bloods.
He's just vibing. He didn't do anything that bad. He only.
I just had a thought, Skoll.
Oh no.
Speaking of allied races.
Oh, okay.
The Rajani Mogu would be awesome. I wanted them so bad in 8.3.
They have the same skeleton as Draenei, so it's not impossible, but at the same time though, who would they join? I know a lot of people I'd love to have seen them in the Horde, but you know, that's me because
that's where I could see them more than the Alliance.
Because I just like the idea of the Mogu and the Zandalari being on the same side again and in the Horde. Like, the Mogu, they feel like their culture would thrive really well in the Horde, but at the same time, though, the Alliance could really use some interesting races that are not, I'm sorry, but boring.
Yeah.
I know Ego's gonna yell at me for that, but it's like, they need some, like, I like conflict, you know? Like, I want some, like, that's what I liked about the Worgen, you know? Like, the Worgen were different.
Evo, I'm getting that feeling again, Henry.
I'm getting that feeling again, Henry.
Some feasible conflict, yeah, like some actual good, you know, not just, like, good versus evil kind of conflict. I really love, like, an ideological...
I was hoping to see that between the Void Elves and the Lightforged Draenei. Like,
yeah.
They are literally the opposite spectrum of each other, and they are on the same faction. Can we please get conflict with that?
So, honestly, I gotta say, Box, now you want Mogu?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Look!
What are you doing?
Okay. Pandaren are still my favorite race in the game.
Box!
Helosian
Pandaren are gonna be, like, in the Horde, being like, oh, now I get to fit in with all these friendly faces. Look at my Mogu and my Zandalari friends. I'm sure our ancestors were holding hands and skipping through, like, flower fields and stuff.
So here's the thing, though, with the Rajani Mogu Kai. Here's the thing. I feel like the Pandaren would have at least some sort of, like, mutual respect to them because they help defend the Veil against Enzoth's forces.
The Rajani are a clean slate compared to the rest of the Mogu.
To
like,
be fair, yeah.
Like Ra-Den, I think they're new. I think Ra-Den created them freshly, and they were like, they're gonna do the purpose that they were supposed to do, basically. And it's like, I mean, I remember the Shadowpan and the Gold Lotus were working with them, so
yeah.
I mean, oh man, 8.3. Like, I want more. I'm sorry, I'm weird, but like,
you're good.
I wanted more lore with the Rajani. It was so brief. Like, we hung out with them for a bit, and then
I could see him becoming relevant, and again, maybe in a revamp. That's what I would love to see for the next expansion. It's just like they revamp everything, but first they start off with Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms. Maybe they take it patch by patch, and they're like, okay, now this zone's getting some stuff. This one's getting some stuff.
They really don't even need to update Pandaria that much graphically. It still holds up pretty well.
It really does.
Like, I've gone back to it, and it still is like, I think the only thing that really needs like a revamp slightly is the skyboxes in Pandaria.
So guys, we actually got 2 more questions. Not to change the subject, but Walter says, so because the Legion is defeated and the overall demonic presence is lessened, do you think eventually the Broken could return to being Draenei? I feel like they're kind of permanently like that.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't go back from that.
That feels irreversible, because if there was a way for them to go back, you think they would be trying to figure it out. Like,
yeah.
It's like kind of in the same vein of like the green skin of the orcs. Like, we know lore-wise that like they can go back from being red to green, but I would love if they focus a little bit more on that too, because Grom becomes all red-skinned in Warcraft 3, and then Jaina and the priests and the shamans work together to removing that. I would love to see that focus more on the lore of WoW, but like, I don't think in the same vein, the green skin of the orcs and the broken can really go back to being normal. I feel like that's really irreversible. It's sad, it's like tragic, but like that's what I like about it. It's like a scar that never heals, and they're learning to deal with it and have set themselves over it.
Yeah. So the next question is from Antonio Jones. Who did you want to be in Shadowlands now that's about to end, hero or bad guy? I would say Sarfang or Varian are two big ones I really want to see. I feel like with Sarfang's arc in BFA, although it ended really good, I feel like there's still a little bit more story to be told there, even if it's actually between him and, dare I say it, Sylvanas. Mm-hmm. That could be kind of an interesting conversation. But yeah, no, Sarfang or Varian would be cool.
Yeah, I
Varian
agree.
For sure.
I would
Sarfang
like.
Just as cool, but
I think that the main and this one that they almost confirmed it, but it hasn't happened yet. Is Karen Bloodhoof, the father of Bane. I feel like Bane, not to get too spoilery, but Bane is finally getting to do something in 9.2, which has been a big thing that people have been complaining about, is Bane hasn't gotten to do anything. And like, we know now why they chose Jaina, I think. Jaina is kind of like the character who cares the most about Anduin, and she's kind of like a mother or an aunt to him. So she's present to kind of be, she cares about him. Thrall got to meet his mother, Draka, and got to learn a few lessons about, leadership and, the past, and, how much do you blame yourself for past actions from somebody else who did it, aka good old Garrosh. There you go, Box. There's your Garrosh window.
Thanks, Skoll. I appreciate that.
I gotta give you that. I gotta throw you a bone. Who else? Tyrande got to deal with her whole thing with Sylvanas, sort of. I don't think that's completely done, but it is going to be focused on in 9.2. They confirmed that in an interview that she's gonna, probably yell at Sylvanas for a bit and, want to kill her. But Bane hasn't really got anything, so I would love to have Bane get to reunite with his parents, Karen, and his mummy. I don't remember her mom.
With his, like, I'm actually really happy Bane's doing some stuff in 9.2 now.
Yeah, and I they did say in an interview, they said that really powerful souls are going to be in Zereth Mortis, so I hope that means characters like Ogrim Doomhammer, Karen, Varian, just really cool characters. I'd also love to see Lei Shen. If we're talking villains, Lei Shen, I'm fascinated by him. He's such a compelling and interesting villain, and he's cheated death. What do you do with a character who's cheated death? I was expecting him to be
kill him in the afterlife.
Yeah, kill him in the afterlife.
Kill him for good.
I want to see him come back, Jikai. We already got...
No, this is for Pandaria. I'm just kidding.
He's such a cool villain. I honestly think he is so cool. Like, I wish we had like two. I wish he was the main villain of Mr. Pandaria. I love Garrosh as the main baddie, but at the same time, though, I would have loved to have seen. If you guys know me, I love it when villains fight each other. How cool would it have been to have seen Garrosh and Lei Shen fight each other?
Well, Skoll, we can make that happen cool. with the power of Machinima.
With the power of what if scenarios.
Yeah, that would, dude. That would actually be such a sick battle, though. Like, can you imagine like Lei Shen with like his thunder powers versus like Garrosh just going full at him with like Gore Howl and stuff? Like,
I want Garrosh going full Yashiraj mode versus Lei Shen going full Titan mode. That is like such a good way of representing the battle between the Titans and the Void, because that way you'd have Lei Shen fulfilling his purpose of fighting the Void, and then Garrosh, Garrosh doesn't care about the cosmic war. He just wants to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just wants to win. He just likes to battle. So we got another question from Antonio. Your thoughts on the Mogu and the Tolvi are getting to meet with one another someday. They are both similar in a way and were created by the Titans being stone constructs and all. Did Lei Shen go to Oldham in the Chronicle?
Oldham.
Did he go there in the first Chronicle? If I actually My brain's not working, so I apologize.
Is Lei Shen voiced by Christopher Lee? I thought he was voiced by somebody else.
I'm gonna Google that.
I was actually starting to look that up just then. I was
Because
like,
it says
wait,
his
hang
name.
on.
It's Paul Nakashi. Nakashi?
Yeah.
It says Paul voiced him, not Christopher Lee.
But on the WoW wiki, actually says something about Christopher Lee. None of these voices have anything like Christopher Lee. I think it might be a rumor that it was Christopher Lee.
I don't think he was voiced by Christopher Lee. I would have heard about that.
I think it is this Paul guy actually.
Yeah,
he's from
yeah,
LA
bottom
too,
blow.
where I think it is Paul Nuck. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I apologize.
Oh, that's such a missed opportunity that Antonio brings up.
Nakauchi.
He talks about how your thoughts on the Mogu and the Tolvi are getting to meet with one another someday. They are both similar in a way, and they are created by the Titans being stone contracts and all. So they did meet each other, and Lei Shen went to war with them, and that's actually how he died the first time, because they used the Halls of Origination right on him, and that's why Oldham looks the way it does. It got all like ripped of life, and it's just sands and all that stuff. But thinking on it, it would have been really cool to have seen the because you know how in 8.3 I keep circling back to 8.3. 8.3 had the Mogu, the Rajani, and the Tolvir be the main guardians and main factions of the patch. I would have loved to have seen them work together in the actual raid of Nyalotha. God, Nyalotha should have been his own.
Honestly, though, that was like 8.3 is weird because I actually really like a lot of parts of it. Like, I like going back to Pandaria. I like going to Oldham. Horrific Visions were a blast. But, like, Nyalotha was, like, the only thing that was kind of a letdown.
I honestly, like, looking back on it, like, I love 8.3. I just wish it had more. It was rushed. That was the only... I wish that the cinematic was longer. I wish the patch was longer. I wish we had more lore. I wish Chen has his hat back.
Yeah, that's a real discussion tonight, actually. Where's Chen Stormstone's hat? We need it back. I'm so upset about that still.
I like how Ben Grimblade gave Lily the hat in his
yeah, oh my god,
his thingy.
She looks sick.
I want something that also bothers me, since we're going on Pandaria tangents, I guess, tonight, even though this is supposed to be a broken episode. It sounds like the Kun-Lai Campfire. We go on Pandaria tangents. Lily is the same age as Anduin and Rathian. Well, not Rathian. Anduin. She's like 18 and she still looks like a kid. Which,
yeah,
I get it. I'm a short guy. I look really young and I'm like 24. But at the same time, though, I have facial hair. I still have, I don't think Lily is stunted in her growth. I think they're just being lazy and they haven't given her a new model.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I remember they described her in the Vol'jin novel to be aging up. Like, she's, a teenager now.
God. Time flies.
They gotta, I feel like one thing Blizzard really has to get better at doing is, and I think Ben Grandblade's pointed this out on Twitter a lot, but, keeping the character models up to date with the times. Because it can actually, like Skoll was saying, it can actually really take you out of the game when, again, a character like Lily hasn't changed since Pandaria, but it's been all those years.
I mean, they updated Rathian, they updated Anduin, they've given Thrall gray hair. It's yeah, I mean, they really should at least, showcase that their character's aging. Friggin', what's his name from Ironforge is still a baby next to Moira.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're gonna see it more with the youthful characters and stuff like that. But yeah, eventually, I mean, the game is gonna reach a point where, hey, these characters that were super young aren't going to be so much. I mean, Anduin used to be a child model in the game, which is so bizarre to think about. But
Anduin is the biggest example of a character who is so different. He has grown up with us basically.
Mm-hmm. He really has. It's so weird because I still remember his little blonde boy shorts model or whatever in Stormwind Keep. Oh my god.
So I really didn't have alliance characters till Mr. Pandaria. So like I got to know Anduin a little bit from the Shattering book, and I loved him in Shattering, but like as a Horde player, you don't really get to interact with him at all. And then Mr. Pandaria came around, and I finally got to meet the guy, and I was like, I really like this kid. He's cool.
Was
He's
kinda
nice
the
to me.
opposite. Yeah, I was completely Alliance until Mr. Pandaria, and then I switched. Not switched, but I played Pandaren, which was my chance to play Horde. So there.
Anduin is a really good character,
Before-
but yeah,
before Pandaren existed, I actually mained Darkspear Trolls and Draenei.
Trolls are awesome. Dark
I
Spear are my
have-
favorite.
They're so
I have-
badass.
I have mained Orc, and I am still maining Orc. I'm still playing a Beastmaster Hunter since Wrathlich King. I do
Orc
not
Shaman
change.
is pretty appealing to me. I've always wanted to play an Orc Shaman or maybe Machnathal Shaman. But
Ho, ho, ho.
I've never really gotten around to it.
Machnathal
If they ever
would
ma-
be awesome.
Guys, if they ever make Machnathal, I'm probably gonna die of excitement.
Hype, yeah. Ogre,
Just
I mean, like I said, Ogres or Machnathal, I'd be cool with either.
I want Machnathal. If that's what next, honestly, like if Blizzard just like looking at things to make people happy in the next expansion, then just go, all right, we're giving guys Broken, Machnathal, the Wandering Isles is now a place that everyone can visit. You can go back to Kazan. The World Revamp is happening. We're getting Dragon Isles. Lei Shen is for some reason back. You know, I'll be happy. That is like legit. And like Rexar is like the leader of the Machnathal.
I'm
Yeah,
down
I'd
for
be-
it. I'm down for it.
Rexar and Akama being the leaders of their like races would be cool. I would love to see Rexar versus Akama. Like none of them die or anything.
That would
But
be
Whoa.
such a fun zone, though. That would be such a fun zone, Skull. Like, imagine that being, like, not the same ending, but, like, the Stone Talon quest line, but it's, like, Rexar versus, Nobundo, or Akama, sorry.
Akama,
I'm losing
yeah,
my mind. I'm losing my mind.
Akama's cooler. No offense to Nobundo, but Nobundo's like very nice. He's like,
What about Hatun, though, Skull? Come on. Hatun?
I feel like Hatun has like issues.
That's fair.
Like he's got abandonment issues. He got abandoned by Velen twice. Like Velen went to go get a carton of milk.
On that note, I think we're probably gonna wrap down for now, since it's about an hour. But Skull and Kai, do you have anything you want to say to everybody before we wrap down?
Yeah, when you gonna get that Sandalari or Garrosh profile picture?
Whoa, hold on a minute.
When
gotta break that out.
when are you gonna make your Machnathals, boys? Like, come on. I'm over here. I made my green Machnathal. Where are you guys out?
Don't challenge me. I'll make my Machnathal tonight.
I'll create a Machnathal character.
Good,
Once I
good.
start playing again.
I'll do it tonight.
But guys, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I just want to say this was like a really on the spot topic, but it was actually really fun, I think, tonight. If you guys have any topics you're ever interested in us covering, just let us know. We're pretty flexible with everything. And as usual, if you want to support the stream, just hit that like button. I gotta say it in like the YouTuber voice. Make sure you hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Oh, I start shaking my microphone. No, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Skull and Kai, do you have anything else?
No, it was a pleasure.
For the Horde, and let's see some really cool races in the future of WoW, please, like the Broken, and the Machnathal, and the Ogres, and the Tuskar, and the Rykul, and the Ethereals, and
I'm down for all
Murloc. I want to play a Murloc now.
All right,
I'll
everybody.
just say,
Oops, sorry, Kai.
I'll just say, fire and steel.
I'm just gonna say for the Banshee Queen. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
I knew it. I knew
Oh no!